All right, everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Verneda Adele, your anti-racist executive producer and the founder of Production by Human Intonation. In this space, we come each week with tips of the trade for the event industry. If you are an emerging event producer, if you are seasoned but ready to make that leap from full-time to creating your own company or striking out on your own, or if you're even in the C-suite with oversight to events for your organization, but don't consider yourself an events person, this is the space for you. And today we are going to talk about the necessary pain that is event reconciliation. Now, of course, we are back. We were not here last week live for event tips. However, thank you to everybody who came out to our own virtual event for Production by Human Intonation, hosting our America's Hot Sauce virtual events for Black Love is the Revolution, which went incredibly well. We were live 2 nights on Monday and Tuesday, and so excited all of you were there. So back this week, this is inspired by the fact it is now, even for virtual events, time to reconcile everything that happened. And there are 3 things that I want you to think about. Yes, it can be annoying. Yes, it can be cumbersome. Yes, it slows you down because you're ready to move on to the next thing. But truly, event reconciliation is absolutely critical to the success of your current event and setting yourself up for success in the events to come. So don't skip it. There's going to be so many parts that you want to skip, especially if you're producing events for yourself and building your own brand. You must take the time to stop and to reconcile. Sometimes it might feel a little bit easier when you are reconciling events for your clients, but even if you are in-house, if you are charged with that event and are closing out, make sure you don't skip this step. And you will thank me later when it's time to then plan next year's event or even next month's event. So the top 3 things that you want to think about when it comes to reconciliation. Number 1, budget reconciliation. Make sure you have your numbers in order. Now, this is something that you should be reporting out anyways to whoever your constituents are, whether that is your board of directors, your executive team, even for within your internal team. Everybody should understand the numbers of what was the original budget projections, what was the actual spend, and what was the difference for each line item. Did you hit the target? Did you go under target, which is always what we are looking for when it comes to events, or did you go over? Do not be afraid to do that budget reconciliation and identify if you did go over. Then that's giving you information to tweak for next time to ensure you don't go over again. But you can't plan to do it differently if you don't first allow yourself to look at the information that is there. So budget reconciliation, number 1, as far as I'm concerned. Feedback. Do not skip the evaluation. You need an internal evaluation, an evaluation with your vendors or partners that put the event together with you, and you need to get feedback from the guests, from the attendees. Now, the feedback from the guests and attendees can always be fun. When you give a great guest experience, getting that feedback, that is fodder for recommendations, updates to your website or to your LinkedIn profile. Make sure you get those happy customer reviews on things that went well so that you can add them to your portfolio. But also be prepared for any negative feedback so that you can, again, take it constructively and look for ways to improve next time. There is nothing more invaluable than feedback. We cannot see everything. We all have blind spots. So have that internal evaluation with your team members, whether you are the executive producer or your mid-management. Make sure the conversation goes both ways. Make sure it hits all levels, and make sure that you include the on-the-ground staff. Do not skip out on the insight of junior roles and entry-level team members. They can provide very valuable information for those who are in leadership positions. Don't skip that part. And last but certainly not least, when it comes to reconciliation, you don't want to skip on looking at ways to do things differently next year. Now, some of this might come out of the feedback, but you have to evaluate, did the venue go well? Did everything pan out the way you want it with speakers, with participants, with marketing efforts? That piece around marketing, if you are not hitting your goals and targets, it's a lot of opportunity to think about What things will we do differently next time? And document that. Document what you would like to do differently next time. Even if you had success, let's say you had $1 million goal on your fundraising gala and you hit that $1 million goal. What will you do differently next time? Are you going to keep that same $1 million goal? Do you want to stretch yourself and say, hey, next year our goal is going to be 1.2? Give yourself some space to dream even around what you will do differently next time. That's super, super important because that's what helps keep your events fresh and keep it from getting stale. So this week's tip on reconciliation, it might feel painful, but it's a necessary pain. It's cumbersome. It can slow you down. You want to move on, but don't skip this step. You'll thank me later. Reconcile your budget. Do a post-event evaluation and take time to think through and document what you will do differently next time. Now, if you would like to tap in with Verneda Adele and the team at Production by Human Intonation on bringing your event to life, make sure you tap in with us. info@humanintonation.com. You can also catch me at Verneda Adele on all social channels. We will be back with more tips of the trade around succeeding in your events and bringing your events to life. Make sure you tap in each week. We drop a new video every Wednesday and let the world know how you'll use